and the sea state's getting a little anxious right now.
Oh my gosh.
And so we're basically looking at a 3-meter swell right now.
Is this a setup?
No. I think we knew it was going to be intense, right?
That would be a very, very, very strange way to end an Atlantic crossing with a cruise ship versus a sailboat.
Even though we move pretty slow on friendship, life moves pretty darn fast. And even though we know that the life we've created for ourselves is quite special, it's sometimes a challenge to appreciate what's happening in the moment.
I can't say enough words to express what I'm feeling at this moment. I almost want to pinch myself.
This is one of the main reasons why we love the vlog. Going back down memory lane reminds us of what we are capable of, and it teaches us to keep pushing limits.
By the way, if any of you guys can tell what song I was dancing to, or dancing to in my head because there wasn't actually any music playing, then please put it in the comments. I want to hear what you thought.
With the Atlantic crossing now coming to a close, we have a mixed bag of emotions, excitement, exhaustion, relief, and a lot of what's next.
I will bake a cake if I can get complete control over the cake and an extra movie. Done. Done. I will bake a cake. Done.
Doing an ocean crossing for the first time will do that to you. So here I am sitting on the bow, which has only happened about 3 times on this trip. Because when I come up here, it's a little rocky. Join us as we complete the last few days of our journey across the Atlantic Ocean and make landfall in Martinique.
I can jump up and down.
I need a map. Thank you so much to our patrons whose support make these episodes possible.
So we're now going through a bit of a squally mess now. We're experiencing 30 knots on the apparent. On the true, it's about 33. And the sea state's getting a little anxious right now. I like to say that this is probably the roughest we've seen in a long time, but the boat's doing okay. We've always been told that the boat can take more than we can, and I like to hope that that's the true statement. But so far, everyone's doing okay. Brad's inside cooking away like a champ. And
Avalon's sleeping.
Avalon's sleeping.
I was watching a movie and I'm filming.
That's right, and we got some rainbow action going on. So
I don't know if it translates to.
you all right?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Okay. And the problem is that we're having a challenge trying to figure out which way we should have the Genoa out. For a while this morning we had it pulled out, so we're going wing on wing because the wind was pretty much from 120 degrees to 180 behind us and pushing us right along, and then it drifted a little bit northward. It was going from the northeast side, and we had to then tack or move the head sail over to the port side so that matched where the mainsail was, and we could just sort of maybe from that point go a little bit further west. Now it just decided to head back to a more of a easterly, so to go ahead and keep sort of with our sail configuration the way it is, we have to go north before we start luffing with our head sail. So I think we're going to go ahead and put the head sail back on the pole so we can go a more westerly route. I think we're going to be playing this game of which way is the wind going all day long, and that's going to be our day. We only got 3 days left, so we knew that we're going to be heading into squalls eventually, and today is squall day. Hopefully become a better sailors from it.
Yep, this was the name of the game for the last couple of days. We were taking it on the beam and it was a bumpy ride. Hey, I'm not going to complain. We've had a pleasant run for the last 2 weeks, and now, since we're getting close to smelling the rum in Martinique, it's time to pay the piper. At this point, we had already gone through seasickness enough that I was not going to let this get to me anymore, but instead, I had bigger things to worry about. So, since you're out here, we'll filming. I've got something to say. My public service announcement for the day. So I right now am so gross. I need a shower. My hair is disgusting. And yesterday I was going to take a shower, but yesterday was a really bad day for Avalon, Largo, and I. It all of a sudden got much more choppy and bangy and swelly, and we just were kind of going on this groove and doing pretty well, and then that hit us hard. Largo slept a lot. Avalon was super tired and just not 100% herself. And I was definitely not myself. Definitely. I'm much better today, but yesterday was one of those days. And I think it's important to share that there are days like this, because I find that a lot of vlogs that we see about sailing and doing Atlantic crossings, they're like, oh, it's great, we're laughing, we're dancing, we're making wonderful food, and you never see kind of the shit of it.
I think you're not watching the right vlogs.
I'm not? Why,
No.
you've seen those vlogs?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of those. Okay, then you're gonna have to enlighten me to them. But yesterday, I was just like, I am so ready to get off this boat. Like, I am done. Now, today I feel differently. It's kind of like, an abusive relationship. Like, one day you wake up and you're like, this is great, I love my life. And then you wake up the next day and you go, I want to be done with this boat. So today, I'm doing okay. Avalon ate too much boba, drank too much boba last night, couldn't get to sleep, and she's exhausted still. Largo's fine. Will's always fine. Brad's fine. But just keeping it real for the sake of, keeping it real.
Food smells good though.
Food does smell good. Who shows the reality of this world? Where are these channels?
They exist.
Who?
Seriously?
Yeah, you gotta put your
Like
money
Rand-
where your mouth is.
Like Rand sailing yacht, Florence.
Okay, I don't watch much.
No
YouTube,
BS,
so-
just sailing. There's a bunch of them out there.
Okay. No BS, just sailing. Oh, I like that.
You don't want to watch that.
Why?
They push themselves to the utmost limits, and then they post it on the. It's almost like for diehard masochists for sailing.
Scary stuff.
Could be.
No, I don't want to see that.
No.
As much as we have loved the kind and gentle ride of the Atlantic so far, we know that we have been lucky, and we don't take this for granted. The sea state that we experienced today was a reminder of what an ocean passage can be like, if not worse. But we all seem to be in a condition where our physical state is able to manage what is delivered. And for that, I am truly grateful.
And with all this wind that we have going on here, oh my gosh, look at these waves. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Look at these waves come about us. You see that? That is insane. And so we're basically looking at a 3-meter swell right now, and with these winds of about 28 knots apparent, we're booging. We're going about 8.5 knots up to 10 knots at times. We're going down the waves. We're going about 12 knots, and we're also being helped by not just these waves, but we have a current going with us, where there's about 1 knot of current according to the forecast that we're riding on right now, that we're going to be riding on for the next 12 hours or so. So that's giving us a speed bump as well. And look at this, sun. I'm gonna just hang out here. This is like a joyride. Gonna get a little wet, get a little splash. Gonna watch Jessica sort of man the helm. She just looks at you saying, "Don't you dare ruin that camera." Oh my gosh. You don't get many opportunities to go on a transatlantic crossing, so might as well make the best of the moment. This is pretty darn cool.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here.
All right, so tell me your thoughts on this experience. Like, is it what you thought it was going to be? Would you do it again? Would you?
Yeah, it was actually better than I thought it was going to be.
Really? What is that?
You little...
It's a flying fish, Avalon.
Did you do... Is this a setup?
No.
You...
Tell me your real thoughts.
This is a setup. I'm done with it. No. Goodbye. You little jerk. I cannot believe you.
What did you think it was? Bring a paper towel.
I have fish guts on me!
And there's fish guts on the seat.
This is my favorite shirt!
Oh, look.
It's a fishy.
It's a fishy. We caught a fish.
I hate you.
Or like fish caught us. Does this count for our lone fish catch for the day?
It did leave some fish guts on the seat, and she picked it up when she realized it was a fish, and she was like, oh, and then she said a bad word, so you have to bleep it out.
I'm so glad that this happened on the last day because now I get to take a shower and I have this.
Enjoy your shower. Meanwhile, I have fish guts all over me. Thanks.
There you go.
Go give it to Lauren.
Avalon, can this be lunch?
Shut up. Ew, why do you have it in here?
It's just pretty. You can get a meal out of this.
The funny thing is that, I shouldn't chew the mouthful. One of these, this thing flew in through the window, landed beside her, and she just reached down like, oh, what is that? Like, things are normally just flying through the windows.
They are flying through the windows. You'll toss like ropes in through the window if you don't want to go all the way around in. I honestly thought it was like a piece of driftwood or something like that. I don't know. Shut up.
Avalon, wait till we catch a real fish.
And you gonna throw that one at me too?
No, we're not throwing that one out. We're gonna listen. It's our last day, and we have to catch a fish.
It's just water in this thing, Avalon.
It's not an Atlantic crossing unless we catch a big Dorado or a tuna or a mahi.
I can't believe you. I at least, when I was throwing fish at Largo, I at least had the grace to throw it past him and not at him inside.
I'm just reach down and grab it by the gill.
That just shows that I'm a better shot.
You're in the fish guts.
But as the day went on, we realized that our dinghy cover was flying off because of the strong winds, and with the big swells we were encountering, we knew that it was time to get it re-strapped on.
Jess, we have a problem.
What's the problem?
Our problem is, what are you doing down there?
Resting. I'm having a spa
Is that
day.
your dog cage right there? Get in your hole.
Having a spa day. I've got something serious to ask you about.
What's that?
I noticed that you've got your swim trunks on, but I also noticed there's like this much of your Christmas underpants hanging out the top.
That's not Christmas
Have
underwear.
you worn those on since Christmas?
Listen, I wore the put on the swimming trunks after the incident with the toilet, and I took a shower, and I figured, well, I don't have any other clean shorts. They've been on for like about a week almost. It's kind of gross. It's a little gross. Listen, I'm conserving resources on board this boat. I sacrificed my hygiene for you, Avalon, and for you, Jess, to take your showers.
You know what's really weird, Dad, and it's kind of sad?
What?
The amount of like water bearing down on you does not translate onto video or photo.
It never does.
It never does.
It never does. The video always flattens it out.
Yeah. It looks high.
It looks high.
Wait till we hit a really big wave and water comes all the way up into Mom's room. Then it'll be high.
Whoa. I can count at least 12 bags of trash so far.
That's not too bad for 20 days.
That's not... It's okay.
When we lived in an apartment, we take out like one huge bag of trash every day. So that's pretty good.
Saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise that with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about.
All right, so let's have a little 3 a.m. chat. I just want to give you guys kind of an idea of what it's like on the boat right now. We're down to our final days at sea, and our winds have been about 20 to 25 knots. We've been averaging about 6 to 7 knots, which is really great. So needless to say, we're not getting a lot of sleep. The cat's going a bit crazy. It's moderately uncomfortable. We have a reef in the main and a reef in the Genoa. I think the whole crew at this point, we're on day, I don't know, 21, 20 something. I think we're all starting to just wear down from the night shifts and just like constant motion, and we're a bit beat and ready to be attached to the land for a bit. This is getting to be exhausting, and we're ready kind of for some recharge time.
With 1 day to go, this is where the taste of the celebration for landfall is starting to take hold. For the last 3 weeks, we have been saving the water in our jerry cans and using our water maker to produce our potable water. But now it's time to go crazy and empty the reserves. Hello, can he go?
With about 100 liters, with 100 miles to go, meaning less than a day, it's time to empty out all these jerry cans. We're done making water.
How long of a shower are you going to take?
And I am going to officially reward myself with being frugal with water with a massive shower today. When I say massive, I mean like 5 minutes.
How long is it going to take to empty? Because that's a really slow spout.
It's a slow spout.
Could have brought your stuff out here and just done it out here.
We have our little washdown pump.
Yeah.
We could do it out here. I don't think Brad would like that, but
I don't think he wants a front row seat to your areas.
that would be fun.
Crossing an ocean when you haven't been, and when you don't have 50 years of sailing experience, you didn't grow up on boats, and you've really only been sailing for a year, and most of it was during COVID times, so very restricted, in the med, not a lot of wind, a lot under motor. It's so humbling. It really is so humbling. Will and I have been traveling, you guys know, for 7 years, and you can pretty much put me any place and I will survive. There's not a doubt in my mind. You put me on a boat, which is a whole new ball game and something completely foreign, and it's I guess the only word I can come up with is humbling, really. We all have the capacity in us to learn new things, some at different paces than others. The rest of the family is learning at a pretty rapid rate compared to me, but I'm getting there, slowly but surely. A year ago, one of my goals on my goal list last year when we sat down at our goals was learn to sail. And we started to learn to sail in January. And then one of my goals for this coming year, was to cross an ocean. And we checked that off first thing, January 1st, we're crossing the ocean. But I still feel so small and so novice in this whole massive world of sailing. And like anything else, learning a new language, moving to a new country, you really start to develop a completely different level of compassion for people who are trying something new that they've never done before. So I think we knew it was going to be intense, right? Did you know it was going to be intense?
I thought it was easier, to be honest with you, than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. That's so funny.
I thought it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
So Will and I we've enlisted...
It's two different sides of the spectrum.
Well, we've enlisted we've asked a lot of people for their advice and thoughts along the way about this. And to be honest, most of them scared the shit out of me. Like, really scared me. Like, it's the Atlantic, it's so different than that. And it is different. But I will say, from my standpoint, I have not once been scared.
Maybe knock on plastic. We got lucky with the weather.
We did have some things go wrong, Will.
But we didn't have crazy weather come our way.
We didn't.
So it was just a matter of keeping up with the boat. And the boat, if I were to say the MVP of our trip, it was definitely, friendship. No, the boat just did so well.
She's a beast. She is a beast.
And there's little things that we added to her to make sure that she was more comfortable, but she definitely pulled through.
Now, for those of you who are patrons and were following us in real time on our tracking page, you got to enjoy all of Avalon's daily posts. As this is our final day, we thought it would be appropriate for Avalon to narrate her final post. It's the crossing through an angsty and insightful teenager who is soon to enter college and change the world. Plus, we had a really hard time with the audio towards the end, where a lot of our audio wound up sounding like this and this.
So, we have come to the final update. So sad. Anyway, you see, we were joined around 4 a.m. by a duck who thought the best place to take a nap was on our solar panels. So it landed, tucked its head into its wing, and slept there for 4 hours.
Welcome to the final installation of hanging out with Will on evening watches. There weren't many of them because, quite frankly, there wasn't much to say or see or do. But it's our last night. Mercy. We've now made it, with the exception of 37.77 nautical miles between us and Martinique. We're making it for our 3,000 nautical mile journey across the Atlantic. It's good. We have we have a companion back there. Little birdie decided to jump on back. We'll give him a lift. that's cool. And we're finally seeing our first boat, our very first boat on AIS that we haven't seen anything for like at least 2 weeks. They say that, you know, that the ocean is big, and even though there's a lot of boats crossing, you rarely see anything. And for us, that was 100% the truth. We barely saw anyone. And the first boat that we see is not just a boat. It's like one of the world's largest cruise ships. It's the Grandeur of the Seas. Check this out. There it is. Hello, Grandeur of the Seas. How are you? So we'll get a better view over here in the inside, here at the nav station. Let me zoom in. So this is us right here, and this is the Grandeur of the Seas right here. It is about, if we click on there, it'll tell us that right now the Grandeur of the Seas is, closest point of approach is about less than 1 nautical mile away, and time to closest point of approach is 22 minutes away. So right now 56 meters is the closest point of approach. So what this AIS software does is it tells you your speed, their speed, how soon until a potential collision may occur. And right now, we're talking about a potential collision with the Grandeur of the Seas, a mega cruise ship from MOROCCO International. They're about 6 miles away, so we're going to see if they alter course or not. We are a sailing vessel, we have right away. That would be a very, very, very strange way to end an Atlantic crossing with a cruise ship versus a sailboat. They're changing course, so it looks like they're going to be going right behind us. They played chicken, and they played chicken with the wrong guy. This will be a huge PR mess for them if they hit us. You know how big this vlog is.
Now, if you've met me, you probably know my opinion on ducks, but I think Largo truly says it best. This is a direct quote from him a couple weeks before the crossing. The epitome of evil is a duck riding a motorcycle. I'm not a fan of ducks, but this one was cute, so we tolerated it, and it eventually woke up and flew away. But we were wrong to trust it, because we later found out that the thing had, insert expletive verb for pooped, all over the solar panels and dinghy cover. I have no idea how such a small bird was able to make such a mess.
And with that, we are done with the hijinks between now and landfall, at least until we see land. It's time to grab a little shut-eye. Brad's on watch. I'm going to bed. I'll see you at the sunrise.
What's going on? Oh my gosh. Well, we have a stowaway. Did you see that last night?
I saw it last night.
Oh my god, he's so, or she is so cute. He must be so tired that he's not falling over. We have Wi-Fi.
We have Wi-Fi.
I want to know how many emails I have there.
I don't know.
8,000.
That's land over there.
That's land.
I was waking up hoping to see the sunset. Am I too early?
You mean sunrise?
Sunrise.
Exactly. You're too early for sunset.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh, I just want to go to a cafe and sit and not feel the ground moving, and I'm so glad.
I can't believe we're here that early that we can't even get into the marina right away. But just sit there and wait. Wait for a parking spot.
That's what we're called, eager beavers, right? So what are we going to do? Because we're going to be there very soon. Are we going to slow down? Are we going to...
No, there's no slowing down. We're
just going to tread water? How many hours are we going to have to hang out?
The 2 hours, hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Around there?
We're never early for anything.
I know.
And we're early for this.
I know. That's okay. I'd rather be early for this than anything else.
And they open at 8, right?
They open at 8.
Okay, so by 8:30 we'll be asleep. 9 o'clock.
Around there. Or having a beer.
I'm having a beer this early.
I will.
Okay, you have a beer for everyone.
Oh my god, is that land?
How
fast
the cruise ship
did we
had to
go?
change course.
How fast did we go?
How fast did we go?
Yeah.
Well, we left the Canary Islands yesterday.
Our final day at sea was really more of a final morning at sea. We sailed the last couple of miles to Martinique and floated outside the marina for a while. Somehow, everyone seemed to wake up of their own accord around 6:30, except Brad. And we all watched the sunrise. Peaceful, right? The beautiful ending of a long and arduous journey.
So we are now taking down our pole, which was the best investment we made in the Canaries before we left, because we're not going to be needing it anymore since we're going into a marina probably, I don't know, for several days. We're going to another big sail. We're going to sail down to Curacao in, I don't know, in a week or so. We're not really certain, but we have to be there in about 3 or 4 weeks to park the boat before we head out to run our Galapagos trip. So watch us take the pole down. Coming down. Pole's coming down. More than that, Will? Lower it more?
Yeah.
As long as you can get a hold of it.
Okay,
Okay, you're good for now.
Good?
Okay, yep. Go ahead and disconnect it. Nope. And don't let it fall.
It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but this pole
You got it?
actually is going to come down. It's going to attach to the side of our boat. That's where it lives when we're not using it. Is it heavy, Avalon? No.
Dad's carrying most of the weight.
Dad's carrying most of the weight.
The lousy part about this entire process is that we have to make it into a marina or at least a fuel dock, because if we don't, we're out of dinghy gas, so we can't even run the dinghy right now.
Oh, we don't have any dinghy gas?
We have zero gas, so we'd be rowing with our flotilla of garbage.
So gross.
It's nasty.
I wonder how long it's going to take to get the smell out of the dinghy, but I think that was a great place to store it. I think that was a great place to store the trash. I mean, maybe we'll never get the smell of trash out of our dinghy, and then we'll regret that. But
Did you not think that was something important to mention before we got here?
What?
Like if the boat had gone down, Laura and I were trying to start the engine, and you had like died.
You had a choice: either keep the autopilot going on, or have to row.
Have to row through the entire Atlantic. That's great.
Right? We never had to touch the wheel once.
steering?
I did it for like
You did it a
10
little
minutes.
bit last night, didn't you? Or this
Yeah,
morning? Yeah.
Just to get the feel.
Our autopilot, I love it. It really was a champ. And we hear about autopilots failing and maybe having a backup, but it was just not in our budget. So had it failed, we would have had to manually steer the whole way. And I can tell from personal experience, I did it for like an hour and a half one day to get a kind of feel for it. And I was exhausted after doing it. Like it's really, really tiring and takes a ton of focus. And that's real sailing.
That's right. Crossing oceans is baby sailing.
Absolutely. You're going to bed, sure. You're not up here 24/7.
Is that good? It feels caught now.
All right, good.
We're just cleaning up lines now. We got one job when we land, and that's to go to sleep.
Get the
We're
lines
doing
ready
everything possible.
and then get back up and sleep for a month.
Exactly.
What do you think, Sentry? You're just as tired, huh? I feel like you want to touch this for some reason. I see you reaching out.
Ready? Tacking.
Oh wow, that's really tight.
This is a full arc rainbow. We found paradise, and I bet the pot of gold is right over there at the end of the rainbow. Our task for the day is to find the pot of gold.
But that was not all, because later, once Brad had woken up and it was finally time to motor into the marina, it turned out that one of our engines was dead. Why? We eventually got it working, but not before a lot of grumbling, some whining, and a few very manly tears. Looking at you, Brad and Dad.
Woo! Our makeshift line worked out. Well, that's a good feeling.
Look at that, babe.
Yep, time for new rope, new line. How warm do you think the water is, Largo?
Warmer than normal.
What's normal?
January and
Anyway, we finally made it to the marina, and we all went out for drinks and lunch.
And we're on land! Oh my gosh!
Listen, I was trying to get back on the boat. I jumped off to go walk at the end of the dock, and when I jumped back on, I almost fell. It's like my legs gave out underneath me. I forgot how to walk.
All these people are arriving, and these guys have like 200 cases of rum. And we are now heading over to do customs clearance and to check in. I definitely want a beverage.
I want a baguette.
You want a baguette? I'm
Sorry,
about to be into you. Oh my gosh. Guys, 21 days, 20 hours, 1 failed engine battery, 1 failed halyard.
Everything that went wrong, are you?
A lot of things went wrong, but a lot of things went right. And for that, we're grateful to be in the Caribbean. Welcome to Martinique.
You're in the Caribbean. Holy shit.
I know. You're not.
This is like a little city. We've never been in a marina. We've been in a marina with a lot of boats, but not with people on them. There's people on every single boat here.
And no one's wearing a jacket, which is like the best part about it.
Thus concludes the story of how 4 crazy people and 1 slightly less crazy person, moi, crossed the Atlantic Ocean in 21 days and 20 hours to be exact. The end.
Of course, it's me against the ocean, and
Oh my gosh, you're doing really good, Largo. It's funny because the window right over here, it's like a creeper room, so you can see inside the bathroom. So there were times where people were in the bathroom and I just didn't want to look inside.
It has once been said to me, or maybe twice or 3 times, that this boat is not a blue water boat. Now, this is a blue water boat. It was built for blue water, and damn it, it just did blue water. So, all of you saying it's not a blue water boat, live alive today. I don't want to be drunk for it.
I do.